Hey everyone, today's video is a reading and transcription practice. Actually, I've gone through your transcription assignments and I found that we need to focus more on practice and transcribing and so on. What we're gonna do in this video. Here we go. Before I read this short story, I'd like to talk about a very important thing when we come to transcription. This thing is called weak forms. Yeah, here we go. Weak forms. What are weak forms? Weak forms are words which are not content words. The words which do not have meaning in themselves. They only have grammatical functions. These weak forms include many words and many word classes. For example, they include, as you see here, determiners. Let's say, yes, let's go back. Yeah, determiners such as the, some. They include prepositions such as at, for, to, from, of, conjunctions such as and, but, that, pronouns such as you, he, she, it, him, etc. Auxiliary verbs, verb to be, conjunctions, modal verbs, all auxiliary verbs. These are words which we call weak forms, because they do not have a dictionary meaning. They function only in grammar and in structure and so on. They are called a closed class of words, because every day we have new nouns, new verbs, new adjectives, new adverbs, but we do not have new pronouns every day. We don't have no conjunction, new prepositions, new modal verbs. They are very limited in number, and they stay as they are without any new members, and this is why they are called closed class, closed word class. Okay. How about these words, and how can we read them, and how can we transcribe them? Let's have, I want you to look at this. For example, here, let's look at the modal verbs here, can and will and so on. We use weak form when we speak, in connect speech. We do not give extra emphasis and strength to these words because they do not have much meaning. And this is why we usually use the weak forms. For example, can instead of saying can, will instead of saying will, would instead of saying would, shall instead of saying shall, must instead of saying must. Okay, where or when do we use our strong form? We use them or when they come at the end of utterances. For example, yes, I can. Yes, we can. Yeah, in this case, we stress and we use a strong form of the weak forms only when they come at the end of word, at the end of utterances, في نهاية الكلام أو في نهاية الجملة. Okay, the second case when we want to make a contrast or a contrast. For example, you can't swim, and I say no, I can. Okay, here a contrast between can and can't, and both must be stressed and must be pronounced in their strong forms. So again, these are words which have two forms, weak forms and strong forms, and they usually come in their weak forms because they have little meanings. They have little meaning. Okay, let's have a look at other forms. Okay, for example, here's the word a, the article a. If you pronounce it in its a strong form, it could be a. If you pronounce it in its weak form, it could be for example, a cup, not a cup, no, a cup. Okay, this is the regular pronunciation or the common pronunciation. And you can pronounce it as and or un. For example, you and me, Don't say you and me. There is no need to make and strong. As, it becomes as, as, as good as, you know, as good as. So don't say as good as himself or herself, and so on. Okay. At, weak form, at. If you want to use the strong form at the end, okay, say at. If at comes at the end of utterances or sentences, جت في نهاية الكلمة، في نهاية الجملة، ممكن نستخدم ال strong form. فيما عدا ذلك بنستخدم ال weak form طبعا. وبرضه لو عندي contrast، بعمل contrast بينها وبين preposition تاني. Okay. For example, at home. Okay. Can, strong form can, weak form can. Has, is. You can drop the ha altogether. So you say don't use ha as, instead of saying has as z. Okay. He, it could be e. Must, it could be must when we use the weak form. She. That, to, would, etc. Okay. So here are some other examples. Yes. Here we have how are strong forms change into weak forms. This is a, and here we have got a dog. Get a dog. Okay. An becomes an. Her becomes her. His, is, no ha. Some becomes some. Your, him, do. Okay. So this is a very important thing I want you to pay attention to, because here there is another example. Tell him, to come for me. Tell him. Okay. Tell him. Instead of saying tell him to, instead of saying to, it would be to come for me, not for me or for me, no. So instead of saying him, we have him. Instead of saying to, we have to. Instead of saying for, we have for. Instead of saying me, we have me. Tell him to come for me. Tell him to come for me. Okay. I hope that this is clear, because we cannot transcribe or even read well unless we know this and we take this into consideration. Here we go to our transcription and reading practice. Yes. I'm gonna read word by word or utterance by utterance, and then have some comments on the transcription. Okay, this exercise is important for everyone, because every time you are exposed to transcription and reading exercise, you learn something new, and you start having or nurturing some sort of awareness regarding how to read and how to transcribe. Your phonetic awareness in general is developing and is growing time and time over. Okay, so here let's read once. Look at the transcription. Once. Okay, once upon. Look at upon. Upon is a preposition, so it's a weak form. It's a weak word. There is no need at all to use the strong form here. So don't say upon. Once upon. Okay. Suppose that I want to use the strong form. Here I have an example. Yes, this one. Okay. Upon. Here we have upon. But we do not use this one regularly, because this is a strong form, and in connected speech we usually use the weak form. So if you use the weak form like that, This is very good. Okay. Once upon a time, look at time. Yeah. Once upon a time, look at and here it's also a weak word because it's what? It's an indefinite article. It's an indefinite article. So say a. So here we have two weak forms on a row. What about upon and a? Once upon a time, there, which is also a weak word, a weak form, because it's an adverb. Okay, there was, there was. Look at was. Okay, there was. Okay. Also we have schwa here, because schwa is the vowel that we see in all weak words. This is a mark of weakness, and as long as the word is weak, we use the weak vowel schwa. So look at schwa here. It has been used so many times. So here upon, it is used twice, and then we have was, and then we have and then and so on. So if we look at the rest of the words, you will find that schwa is the most frequent vowel. Okay. Once upon a time, there was a dear little girl. Here we are talking about, or we are referring to British English, RP, where it's not erotic accent. R is not pronounced after vowels, and there are some differences between this accent and the American accent, the general American accent. And we said before there are many Englishes, and you cannot say that one is better than the other. It's up to the learner to use which accent, and as long as he wants to be intelligible and to be understood by people worldwide, and he's seeking clarity. This is a very important purpose. We study phonetics in order to be able to communicate better and to have some sort of clear and intelligible communication with people around the world. Whoever is speaking English, we can communicate with them, okay, easily and intelligibly and comfortably. Okay, so let's go back to the sentence. Once upon a time, there was a dear little girl. Look at this. Girl, which is a long vowel, long central vowel. Okay, so here we have wa. If we make some sort of analysis, okay, wa, which is a bilabial approximate consonant, and then a, which is a short central vowel, and then na, which is an alveolar nasal consonant, voiced consonant, and sa, which is an alveolar voiceless fricative consonant, and then which is schwa, which is a center short vowel, p, which is a bilabial stop or plosive voiceless consonant, and then we have another schwa, and then na, also we said it's nasal, and then we have t, okay, t, which is a plosive aspirated chime. Look, do you feel the ha sound, which is said with t? This aspiration, we use this in order to make t more prominent, because t is a very weak sound when it comes to sonority and loudness. So in order to reinforce it, we use the aspiration feature. So they chime. This applies to p, and this applies also to k when they come at the beginning of stressed syllables. Okay, so t is a plosive or a stop, voiceless alveolar consonant. And I, it's a diphthong. You know, it starts with a and then it ends with e. And then ma, which is a bilabial nasal consonant. And then the, which is a voiced fricative dental, the dental consonant. And then we have wa, also we talked about it before, and z, which is a voiced fricative alveolar, voiced fricative alveolar consonant. And d in J, okay, d is a what? It's a voiced stop alveolar consonant. And d, ear, look at the diphthong here, ear, which is one of the diphthongs found in British English. Okay, dear, and look at the pronunciation of dear. Okay, little. We have l here, which is a lateral consonant, and it's also an alveolar. And here it comes at the beginning. It's clear la, little. What's here? Is a short front vowel, and t here is little t. Another t we talked about t before, which is that it's an alveolar stop voiceless consonant. And look at la here, la, little. La here comes at the end, and whenever we have an L coming at the end, it must be dog. So we say little. Okay, girl. G here. What's g? Can anyone describe it to me? What's g? It's a consonant, and it's a velar voiced stop or plosive consonant. G. We pronounce it by the back of the tongue touching firmly the soft palate. And then we have all at the end, must be dark, لازم تبقى مفخمة جماعة. And then who, ha. What's ha? Can anyone describe ha? Ha is a glottal, voiceless, fricative consonant. It's pronounced from the glottis من منطقة اللارynx اللي هي الايه الحنجرة. في نفس الوقت هي ايه؟ هي voiceless. Okay, there's no voice, just whispering. Okay, was, okay, we talked about was before, and as you see, it's must be weak. Loved, la, lateral, which is a central, mid open or open, yeah, it's in between, mid open to open vowel. And v, which can anyone describe v for me? Yeah, anyone? Yeah, it's what? It's a labiodental voiced fricative consonant. Labiodental voiced fricative consonant. And loved. Look at G here, G. Loved by, what's B? Bilabial, stop, voiced consonant. I, which is a diphthong. Okay, two parts, a and I. And then every, okay, it's what? It's a front, mid open, mid close vowel. It's in the middle. Okay, and ra. Can anyone describe r? The ra here, it's an approximant consonant, and it's a palatal alveolar consonant, and of course it's voiced. And every, look at every. We do not make a long e. No, it's this e or e. It's a midway between e, which is long as in the street, and which is short one as in sit. Okay, and wam. Okay, look at the vowel here, the central open vowel. And who, Who, yeah, who, we talked about who, we don't talk about it before. Who, it's a long back vowel, long back close vowel. Ooh, as you see, we say it with our mouth closed, and we say it with the back of our tongue, and also we say it with our lips rounded. Okay, and looked, looked, looked. Okay, here we have the okay, which is a short vowel, back and also closed. We say it with the mouth closed, and then we have ka. Ka is what? Is a plosive, voiceless velar consonant, and ta, which is a voiceless alveolar plosive consonant. Look at ed. Ed here looked. Okay, it is transcribed as t because the ed comes after ka, and ka is a voiceless, and when we have the ed coming after a voiceless consonant in a verb, we pronounce it as t and we transcribe it as t too. Okay, so here let's read again. Let's complete the sentence. At her, look at don't say at, no, at her, 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 look at her vowel, which is a long vowel, central vowel, a vowel we say with the least effort, as we said before. Okay, so let's read this part. Okay, once upon a time there was a dear little girl who was loved by everyone who looked at her, who looked at her, who looked at her. Okay, but look at but here also is a conjunction. It's a weak word, so we use shwahi. Okay, but most, most, most. Oh, look at oh here. Oh, which is a diphthong. It starts with and ends with most, 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 most. Okay, and how about haven't we talked about it before? Yeah, so is a fricative, voiceless, alveolar consonant, and look at of. No, don't say of, by the way. Of, v, okay, of, all, look at this, all, yes. As you see, it's a long vowel, mid open, mid close, and it's back, and by, we talked about it before, and by her grandmother, we took grandmother. Can anyone describe for me? Grand, huh? It's a front, open vowel, Okay, a mother. Okay, look at this word. It's a word made up of two parts. Okay, a grand and mother, but the stress, الكلمة الأساسية أو الجزء الأساسي, and the strong part is the first part, which is grand. Okay, so we say grandmother. Okay, and there was the okay, the weak, you know, and was. All these words are weak. Nothing. Okay, how about this? Can anyone describe it? It's a nasal velar voiced consonant. Nasal velar voiced consonant. Okay, thin, nothing. Okay, that, look at the weak form of that. Okay, she, look at she, how it is weak here. Would, okay, also weak, because all these are articles, pronouns, and so on. Not, okay, here we find that not here is important because it negates the meaning of a statement, so it negates the message of statement's importance. So here I must put it in its strong form. Have, a weak form. Given. Okay, how many syllables? 2. How about n here? N here is a nasal consonant, but at the same time, it's a syllabic. There's no vowel before it, and it is why there could be a schwa here between v and n, but because n is one of the consonants can act as syllabically on its own to form a syllable on its own, especially only when it is preceded by a schwa. يعني لما يجي قبلها schwa ممكن نشيل الشوا ونسيبها هي لوحدها to be one syllable, to act as a syllable on its own. Okay, given to the كل دي to without weak forms. Child, okay, child, okay. Cha, can anyone describe cha for me? Cha is what? Cha is an affricate voiceless consonant. How can we describe? You could describe first part. Ta is plosive, voiceless, alveolar consonant, and then sh is a voiceless palato-alveolar fricative consonant. And child, look at la, child لا here must be very dark, لازم تبقى مفخمة علشان هي it comes after a vowel. Okay, so let's read the first sentence كلها من الأول بقى. Once upon a time there was a dear little girl who was loved by everyone who looked at her, but most of all by her grandmother, and there was nothing that she wouldn't have given to the child. And there was nothing that she wouldn't have given to the child. Okay, second sentence. Once she, I think that we talked about this before. Once she gave, look at the diphthong here, we start with and then we end with give her, it's a weak form, and is also another weak form. Okay, give her a little cap, look at cap, here coming at the beginning of the word and also it's a stressed word, as you see. So it must be aspirated, so say cap of, then say of, red. Look at this vowel, very lovely vowel, which is it's open, it's mid open, mid close, front vowel. Red, velvet, don't say velvet, no, velvet. Which, don't say which, please. Which, noha, which, okay, which is suited. What's this? Yeah, can anyone describe it to me? Yeah is what? Is a palatal consonant. Yeah, okay, and it's an approximate consonant, palatal approximant consonant. Okay, and suited her, no, so well that she would, weak form, would never, and say never, never, wear, never wear, okay, wear, the song air, we start with and then we end air. Anything, say anything, no, anything else, don't say else, anything else. Okay, so let's read the sentence again. Okay, once she gave her a little cap of red velvet, which suited her so well that she would never wear anything else. So she طبعا she weak form was weak form always 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 okay cold 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 look at k here must be aspirated cold and la must be dark لازم يبقى مفخمة cold little little والال الأخرانية في little لازم تبقى برضو مفخمة little 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 والتاء لازم تبقى alveolar little red 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 look at the R red riding 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 not riding no riding hood 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 okay let's read so she was always called Little Red Riding Hood so she was always called Little Red Riding Hood okay let's read this paragraph again once upon a time there was a dear little girl who was loved by everyone who looked at her, but most of all by her grandmother. And there was nothing that she would not have given to the child. Once she gave her a little cap of red velvet, which suited her so well that she would never wear anything else. So she was always called Little Red Riding Hood. Okay. One day, her, another weak form. One day, one day, her, mother. Okay. And look at no R and only schwa at the end. Said. Okay, don't say said to her come Little Red Riding Hood. Here's a piece of cake. Here's a piece of cake. Cake. And a bottle of wine. Okay, so let's read again. Let's read. One day, her mother said to her, "Come, Little Red Riding Hood. Here's a piece of cake and a bottle of wine. Take them to your grandmother. Take them to your grandmother." Look at you. Okay, only schwa. Look at two. Only schwa. Yeah. Take them to your grandmother. She's ill and weak. Or she's ill and weak, but I think that N is better. She's ill and weak. And she will do her good. Okay. She will do her good. Okay. Don't say sit. Set out before it gets hot. Set out, ow, which is another diphthong, before, okay, for, look at B and for. Before is a strong, the stress syllable here. It gets hot. Oh. Can anyone describe this vowel? Oh. It's a back, open, rounded vowel. Okay. And when, let's say when, and when you are going Okay, going, going, owing. Okay, walk nicely and quietly, and quietly, quietly, and do not run, and do not run off. Can here you may notice that off here, okay, is not weak, because it's a phrasal verb here, run off, and we stress the particle here, which is off, so it's strong. Off the path, path. Or look at or, very important here. You may fall and break the bottle, and then your grandmother will get nothing. Your grandmother will get nothing. And when you go into her room, okay, don't forget, look at here, don't forget to say good morning, and don't beep into every corner before you do it. Okay, so let's read this the whole again, the whole passage. Once upon a time there was a once upon a time there was a dear little girl who was loved by everyone who looked at her, but most of all by her grandmother. And there was nothing that she would not have given to the child. Once she gave her a little cap of red velvet, which suited her so well that she would never wear anything else. Again, once she gave her a little cap of red velvet, which suited her so well that she would never wear anything else. So she was always called Little Red Riding Hood. One day her mother said to her, Come little Red Riding Hood. Here's a piece of cake and a bottle of wine. Take them to your grandmother. She's ill and weak, and they will do her good. Sit out before it gets hot, and when you are going, walk nicely and quietly, and do not run off the path, or you may fall and break the bottle, and then your grandmother will get nothing. And when you go into the room, don't forget to say good morning, and don't peep into every corner before you do it. Thank you.